Hi everybody, my name is Luis Vargas, and in this occasion I'm going to create a new application using DSON library. The first step is going to be just create a new project. Then in this screen, in the splash screen, I'm just going to create a new Dart project. And then I'm just going to select the type of project I'm going to be creating. So in this case, we are just going to choose simple console application, and let's make this a little bit smaller, and then click next. And then we are just going to set the project name. In this case, we're just going to call it DSON01. And I'm just gonna put the path, and the path is gonna be just DSON tutorials and this one. You can put whatever path you want, and in this case I'm just gonna use this path. So I'm just gonna click on finish, and then yes. So this will create the project for me, and the project looks like this one. Right now what it's doing is just analyzing the project, and also it's doing a apt-get. Let me see messages. So it's doing apt-get, and since there is no dependencies in the project, it didn't get anything. I'm just gonna click run to see what is in the console. And as you can see, it's just hello world, what is in the main.dart. Okay, so next step will be just to add the DSON dependency. In this case, it's gonna be DSON, and I'm just gonna put any to add any dependency, and just do get dependencies. This is going to take some time, so I'm going to pause the video. Okay, once the dependencies has been downloaded from the internet, we see all these dependencies has been loading. So we begin to create our new DSON project. So we can see the documentation in DSON page, in the DSON Dartland page, and we can see that the first step is already done. I mean the second step, which is adding the DSON dependency. And now what we need to do is just add the tool watch Dart. So let's add a new file. Why there are too much? Let me pause the video. Okay, so for one reason I cannot see this panel correctly, so I'm just gonna do file new. I'm just gonna do file, and I'm gonna call it tool.dart, toolwatch.dart, sorry, and let's create this file, and let's see what's going on here. What is create this file? Oh, it creates inside bin. So we need to create this inside the root project, the root of the project, and it's already here. So this watch file is gonna contain the watch process, which is this one. I'm just gonna copy everything from here. I'm gonna paste it. So the comments in here says that I should replace the DSON for the name of the project. In this case, it's gonna be 01, sorry, DSON01, and I should change also the name of the files I want to watch. In this case, it's gonna be bin main.dart, so it's gonna be all the files in all the Dart files inside bin, and I can remove these 3 lines. Next step will be just to add the name of the library to this project. Let's call it DSON01, DSON01 dot let's call it what is the name that this they say? Let's call it like this: object to JSON. Object to JSON. We can just leave it this on 01. It's okay. In fact, I'm just gonna leave it this on 01 by the moment. Maybe in the future we can change it. So the next step will be to create a new class, and in this case it's gonna be the class person. So the class person is gonna have an integer for ID. It's gonna have a string for first name, and let's add another string for last name. So in here, what we're gonna do is just create a new person. Let's put in here state person first one. That's one. Okay. So right now, if I try to use the JSON library to encode this to a string, this should fail. So if I try to run this code, this should fail because this is an object, and what happens is that this object is gonna be let's run it, and this JSON encode cannot process this object. Let's say the error, the object to an encodable object failed, converting object to an encodable, and we can go to the source code and see what's going on. Okay, that doesn't say too much. This is basically because the object is not encodable. It's not an serializable object. So previously, one option to do this is just add the toJSON method and then return a map, and this map should contain the ID of the string, the ID in a string way, ID first name, last name. So in here, if I do now the JSON code, it will work, and it works like this because the JSON code uses the toJSON method, and we can go here and somewhere in here it looks for the toJSON method. I should go to all the code, and I don't want to do it. It's too long. But what happens if we want, for example, add a date of birth, or we want to add more code? That means that the code will increase twice because I'm adding the same code 2 times. And also, what happens if I would like to do the contrary, convert from a JSON string into an object? I will need to do from JSON method, from JSON constructor maybe, and that's not good. So the best option in here should be to make this object serializable. So let's do something else also. For example, if I want to add a day of birth, so it's gonna be a date time, day of birth, just call it day of birth, day of birth. So in here I should add it also here. And something you're gonna notice is that, let's say the day of birth is gonna be datetime, no datetime, let's say 20. Let's say 2001,1. So okay, so as you can see, there is an error, and this is because the datetime is not serializable. So it's the same error, the object to an encodable object. You can say, okay, we can just solve it just adding just passing a method here. Let's say that the value, and then as if the value what is the error? Let me see. Oh yeah, sorry, it's to encodable object. So to encodable parameter, sorry. So if it's val, if val is datetime, you can say here if val is datetime, then we are gonna return and a datetime serializable. Val to isostream. This is just one option. Is val is datetime. What? Let me pause this video a little bit. So the error was caused because I need to also return an else and do if the value is not datetime, just return the val to JSON. I'm gonna leave it like this. I know this is a little bit dangerous and you shouldn't do this. So let's run it. And the code runs okay. Now, but what happens if okay, another option will just be, instead of passing this parameter, let me see, you can also here, I'm just commenting it out, I think I commented out too much. Let's just remove it just by the moment. Another option will be just say def over and put a to ISO string here again. So the problem on doing this is that I should put this to ISO string for every date of time I found, and maybe I don't want to use the to ISO string, and maybe I want to use something different. Anyway, it's not a good idea to do this. It would be better, a little bit better idea to do this. However, still is not a good idea, because that means that if the object is different, I still need to create it to JSON method. So what other options do we have? Let's remove this. No, let's not remove it by the moment. And let's do this. And so an option will be just to annotate the object with @serializable. And using the DSON serializable. And I just import the serializable library. So what this will do is when I run the watch, this file, I'm just gonna run it now. And it's running, and what it does is just generate a file, a main.g.dart file. So what this file does is just use this library, the DSON library, and generate this code for me. And this code is basically what it uses to parse the JSON files. So let's go back to the main.dart, close these two, and we need to do something else. We need to say that this is gonna be part, it's gonna have a part, and it's gonna be main.gdart. Oops. Now once we have this, we can go back to main.get and we can see now that it has the unique class mirror and the unique function mirrors is not red anymore. And also we need to extend this file, extend persons realizable, and we can now remove this object, this method, sorry. So if we try to do this, let's see what's the error. Missing conqueror of person to JSON. Oh. If we run it again, it should work partially, and we have this error, encodable object. So this error is because again the date of pairs. So run it again. No. Let me pause the video a little bit. So it looks like the error was caused because it was just a timing issue in the generation code. I run it too fast. So running it again, I haven't changed anything. You can just see the code, the solution code. So what we can do if we generate this day of pairs, and save again, we can see the watch.dart has finished, and run again, and we have the day of pairs equals to null. But let's add back the date of pairs again to see. So in here we have this error, and this is caused because again the date time. So an option will be just add the true encodable here, and maybe we can also JSON encode to encodable. No idea why failing. Okay, let's remove this. I think it's an analysis error only. Yep. No. Oh yeah. Okay, so let's run this again, and now it works. However, doing this is not good idea, not very good idea. So something cool will be that we don't need to even add these lines, because maybe in the future we need to use a different object and this object is not in here. So the best option to me will be just to use the JSON method, and let's comment this out, and let's add the DSON method. So it's gonna be JSON, so I need to import the library first, import DSON. So in here I just need to pass the object. And now it should runs correctly. And was called oh no. Why? Oh yeah, this is because we haven't initialized the mirrors, so I need just to init the mirrors. And this init mirror should only run once at the beginning of the main file. It doesn't need to be run many times. It just once per project, and that's it. And as you can see, this is the results, and we don't need to use the to isostring manually. We don't need to add it manually. Maybe in the future we will need to do it, but for some code that is not it's not being used with the JSON, with the DSON project, it's not annotated with the serial example. So if the object is not annotated with the serial example, maybe we can use this to encodable. But I doubt it, and I wouldn't recommend it. I would recommend always use this annotation. And if it's not the case, maybe what you can do is just extend the class and just use it. So I hope you like this video. Don't forget to comment. Don't hesitate if you have any issue. Just let me know. And thank you.